Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that, let's be honest, affects pretty much every business out there: the actual physical space where you work. We're going to explore how to take a commercial space from just being, four walls and a roof and turn it into a powerhouse asset for your business. Let's get right into it.
So, let me just start by asking you this. Think about it for a second. Is your office working against you? And I'm serious. A poorly designed space can actually be sabotaging your team's success, and you might not even realize it's happening.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You've got those cramped cubicle farms that just kill any kind of creative vibe. Or offices with such bad lighting that by 2 in the afternoon, everyone's energy is completely gone. Throw in confusing layouts where no one knows where to go, and you've basically cooked up a recipe for frustration. And that stuff hits both morale and your bottom line. Hard.
And this is where we really need to flip the script. Commercial floor planning is not just about picking out cool furniture or the right shade of paint. It's a fundamental business decision. It's a strategy, not an expense, and it has a real, measurable return on investment.
Okay, so if we're going to treat our floor plan like a real strategy, what are we actually trying to accomplish? Let's break down the main goals of a design that truly works.
First up, the big one. You have to optimize every single square foot. This isn't just about cramming more desks in. It's about strategically allocating space to make the whole company's workflow, flow. It's all about making your space work smarter, not just harder. Next is this kind of delicate balancing act between beauty and function. Look, of course you want a space that looks amazing and feels inspiring to walk into. Who doesn't? But that can't get in the way of actually getting work done. The design has to support the day-to-day grind, not make it more complicated. And underneath all of this, the absolute 100% non-negotiable foundation: safety and compliance. We're talking building codes, ADA accessibility, fire safety rules. This is not the place to cut corners. It's not just a box you have to check, it's the bedrock of any responsible professional design.
All right, so we get the what and the why. Now let's get into the fun part, the how. What are the key pieces that actually come together to make a successful floor plan?
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with a super deep dive into what your business actually needs. Before you even think about drawing a line on a blueprint, you have to understand how your teams work together. Does the sales team need to be right next to marketing for quick chats? Does the engineering team need a quiet zone to really focus? And maybe most importantly, you have to plan for the future, building in flexibility so you can grow.
Now, let's talk about two things that are so easy to overlook but have a massive impact: light and sound. You want to get as much natural light in there as possible. It's literally proven to boost mood and productivity. So use glass, put workstations near windows, but at the same time, you've got to create acoustic zones. You have to separate the loud, buzzing, collaborative spots from the quiet, heads-down areas where people actually need to concentrate. And speaking of that flexibility, let's really dig into future-proofing. Your business isn't going to stay the same forever, right? So your space shouldn't be set in stone either. Using things like modular walls that can be moved or lightweight furniture means you can adapt on the fly as your teams change and grow. This totally protects your initial investment and helps you avoid crazy expensive renovations down the road. All of this sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like when you put it into practice? Let's check out a case study and see how this all comes together to create some real measurable wins. So here's the deal. A 5,000 square foot office. On the left, you've got the before, all the classic problems we've been talking about. And on the right, the after, a total strategic redesign with open zones, flexible breakout areas, clear pathways. I mean, the difference is just night and day. But the real story is in the numbers.
First thing they saw after the redesign, bam, a 20% increase in employee satisfaction scores. People were just genuinely happier to be at work.
And that happiness wasn't just some fluffy feeling. It translated directly into performance. The company measured a very real, very tangible 15% boost in productivity across the entire company.
But listen to this. This is the number that really blew the game wide open: a 30% reduction in real estate costs per employee. Think about that. By using their space more efficiently, they got more done with less. And this right here, this is the result. This is what it all leads to. You go from just having an office to owning a strategic business asset, a space that not only looks incredible, but is actively working for you, boosting well-being, driving productivity, and improving the financial health of the business. So, as we start to wrap this up, let's bring it all home.
At the end of the day, why does any of this really matter for your business?
Because a really well-designed space does so much more than just give your team a place to sit. It makes your daily work more efficient. It completely elevates the experience your customers have from the second they walk through the door. Your space is telling a story about who you are as a company, and it's building an environment that doesn't just support you today, but sets you up for sustainable growth tomorrow.
Let's just end on a thought that I think sums this all up perfectly. The most successful commercial spaces aren't designed for today, they're designed for tomorrow. It's all about being proactive, being strategic, and building a foundation for whatever comes next. Thanks so much for watching.